Okay, I must admit, this looks quite ridiculous, but trust me, there's a good reason why this accessory even exists. So in today's video, I'll show you what you can do with this accessory called the Tilta Mavic 4 Pro handle mount. Let's check it out.
Inside the box, you have all the necessary components to put this together, and you can really customize it depending on your taste. Putting all of this together might seem a little bit intimidating, but trust me, it's really not. You don't need any tools or hardware, everything is done and tightened by hand. You have everything you need in the kit. So the main idea is that you have to build this little frame that holds the drone and the remote controller together with a couple of different components that are easily attached to each other, and you can really customize this whole rig depending on your taste and whether you want to have two handles on the side, whether you want to mount your remote controller on the left or right side of this whole contraption, whether you want to have the top handle on top so you can carry this whole thing for extra stability. It's really up to you to decide how you want to mount this. The installation takes about 3-4 minutes, and the only thing I'm not a huge fan is the closing mechanism that holds the drone. It's a little bit fiddly, and I would have preferred to have a little clamp, for example, that just opens up and closes instead of this pin that you have to twist. But other than that, it's really easy to put it together. Now that you're familiar with the system and how it works, let me show you what you can do with it.
Alright, so what are the pros of using a system like this? Well, there are a few of them. So first of all, obviously, the number one thing is no-fly zones. Usually when you go to an area that you don't know and it turns out it's a no-fly zone, your drone kind of becomes like a dead weight. But in this case, you can still take advantage of your drone and its camera even when the area does not allow you to take off. For example, here, there was a low-flying helicopter nearby, and obviously I don't want to risk it and fly around this area right now, but I can still capture some footage with the camera of the Mavic 4 Pro. And talking about camera, it's actually cameras, because as we all know, we have 3 different sensors on the Mavic 4 Pro, and let's be honest, they are amazing. The Mavic 4 Pro cameras are currently my favorite ones to grade footage from, because they are seamlessly you can seamlessly transition between the 3 different lenses. You can use exactly the same color profiles, exactly the same settings. You can shoot in 6K on the main sensor and 4K on the other 2 sensors. So you can really dig deep and achieve a lot of different looking shots with this camera, which in my opinion kind of beats some other mirrorless cameras out there, especially if you don't have many lenses for those cameras. Here you have everything built in. You don't have to swap between different lenses. You can simply adjust your settings and shoot straight away. One thing I have to say is that this top handle is extremely comfortable if you want to carry this whole system like this and you want to shoot from low next to the ground, because you can also tilt the remote controller like this. So when you put this whole contraption closer to the ground, you actually have a good point where you can see the screen while you're still hanging the drone quite low to the ground, and you can still see very well because of the huge brightness of this RC controller, the RC Pro controller with the Mavic 4 Pro. Another huge thing is that if you're flying a lot with your Mavic 4 Pro and you want to seamlessly integrate your ground shots with your shots from the air, this makes it super convenient, super easy, because you're using basically the same camera. If you're using a lot of different cameras, then you know how much of a pain it is to constantly balance different looks, different color profiles, and trying to achieve the same look from different cameras. Here you don't have that problem. And something else that I think shouldn't be neglected is that if you're shooting wildlife and you don't want to bother the animals, this is again a very convenient setup. so you can keep everything quiet and not bother the birds or the animals that you're trying to film with your drone. Now, I don't want to make it sound like this is a amazing, no problematic setup that is just perfect, because it certainly isn't. There are some caveats of using a setup like this, and we'll go through them very quickly as well. First of all, looking at the setup, it is basically like a Frankenstein type of setup. So obviously it's not behaving like a traditional camera would. It's not moving the way a traditional camera would. The gimbal is horizontally very active. It's moving a lot, so keeping the shot super steady, especially when using some of the zoom lenses, is a little bit of a tricky game. So it's not ideal, and you have to really get used to the movement of the drone if you want to extract the most out of these lenses. Second, it's only compatible with the Mavic 4 Pro, so obviously if you have another drone, that's not going to work. And the clasp mechanism that keeps the drone here is, for me, it's extremely annoying. It's not the best. I would have preferred to have something that just opens up and closes like a latch mechanism instead of this bolt that you have to twist. And obviously, if you want, since everything is so tight and secure, if you want to change your battery, for example, after flying for a while, you need to disassemble this whole thing to remove the drone from the setup, so you can open the legs, remove the battery, insert another one, and then start recording again, which is quite cumbersome. It's annoying and it's not ideal. When I first posted a story about this setup, when I first got it, I was bombarded with messages about overheating this setup and whether it's going to be bad for the drone to stay like this without flying, without cooling off. And I have to say, after filming with this for a while, I haven't had any issues with overheating, no problems. I asked Tilta about this same topic as well, and they told me after all of their testing, they haven't had any issues with overheating. So no problems in that regard. It's not an issue at all. And just one thing, if you want to shoot with this and you're relying on the 6x zoom lens, which in my opinion is one of the most impressive lenses that we have on the drone, keep in mind that you have a minimum focus distance. So even objects that are not super close to the camera might not be in focus. So that's something that you have to take into consideration. If you're shooting something that is a little bit closer to you, it might not be in focus, and it might be annoying if you have to switch to the other lens to have it in focus. But that's pretty much it for this product from Tilta. I think it's a very interesting one. I definitely think it has its place. It's not perfect, it's not ideal, but it definitely has its place, and it's a very interesting accessory that you should try if you are filming a lot with your Mavic 4 Pro and you want to achieve some interesting results even from the ground. That's pretty much it from today's video on the Tilta handlebar mount for the Mavic 4 Pro. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Ciao.